Greetings and blessings from the Most High, Jah Rastafari. Crawford Ashley, the spiritual boxer. I'm going to talk about boxing as usual, but as a kid and what I'd learned along the way, I've met some people who give me some great bits of information. And information's golden, really. And I'll give you some of the sayings. When I first went into the gym, we was taught the number one rule, first rule of the ring: defend yourself at all times. That's a must. You got to defend yourself at all times. And I was also taught the cream always rises to the top. So no matter who's trying to push it down, the cream will get to the top. And that taught me a lot, especially as a kid, especially in the amateurs. Your face don't fit, you're not going to get the decision. And my face just didn't fit anywhere. So I had my first fight at 11. I'd been in the gym since I was 7. I had my first fight at 11. And what I learned in the gym taught me a lot. And Tommy Bergen spent a lot of time with me, and so did Dave Buck. People who know will understand. Tommy Bergen was more the boxer technician, and Dave Buck was the dirty fighter. So I learned from both ways how to hit on the blind side of the referee, doing all them dodgy nonsenses if you want to. But I always liked to box fair. And in my whole career, amateur and pro, I've had one public warning, which I thought was kind of unfair. And I was in the Graziani Roger fight when not keeping my head up. But I'm not there to get hit, I'm there to miss. And when I was inside, they were pushing it down, so yeah. Some of the things, like growing up, I met one guy once, and he kind of like I was 14, I don't even know his name, but he said to me, we were having a little conversation. He says to me, he says, "You're good." He says, "But remember one thing, nobody can make you a world champion. That's only you. And remember the people on the way up, because you're going to meet them same people on the way down. So be careful how you treat people." But boxing taught me respect. And you have to be very respectful. You don't know what the other guy is capable of doing. So you need to respect yourself enough to put yourself into a position where you're fit enough to get into a ring. One of the worst feelings in the world is losing a fight because you're not fit enough. Not because you're not good enough. That's easy remedied. There's more work on that. But because you're not fit enough, that's your fault. That's your fault. So I've done the first rule of the ring. If you're getting it, you're doing something wrong. Yeah, we all know that one. So what do? You move. Get on your feet, get out. And like your feet get you into trouble, and your feet will get you out of trouble. So learn to use your feet. And like my hardest one for me to learn was keeping my temper. You lose your temper, you lose. That's just period. That's in anything in life. You need to be in complete control of yourself, and that's what boxing teaches you. And that's why when the referee calls you to the ring, he says, "Obey my command at all times." Yeah? So you got to listen to what the ref's saying, because that's a part about boxing. If you're not listening to instruction while you're in combat, because you have to be very cool and very calm in combat. And that's what boxing teaches you. Know what you're doing. Relax, listen to what's going on, and be aware of everything around you. And that's a great thing. Before my first fight, my trainer said to me, Tommy Bergen, "When in doubt, stick your left hand out." And now I just put it to lead hand because it works in both. The best weapon a boxer's got is mind. Use it. It's like all this defensive stuff is only half of the boxing. You know what I mean? Make him it. Wait a minute. I forgot that now. Make him miss, make him pay. That's why I like the little nuances of boxing where you can make a man miss by this much, where you ride the shot, take this thing out and you ride it. So there's like a nice little flow with it. You ride it. You don't take. It's not doing that. You're just riding it, taking it, and then you can come back with counters. But you always got to come back with counters. And if you're going to be a counter puncher, don't come back with a counter of one. Come back with 2, 3s and 4s. Punches in bunches, was the told as well. Train hard, fight easy. That's a good one. The gym's not a place I like to be. I used to train my heart out for as long as I was in there, which was about an hour max. Top, because I was focused 100%, especially as a pro. As an amateur, there was a lot of playing around going on in there, but I didn't realise the playing that I was doing was helping with me boxing, balancing, climbing things, grip, strength, all sorts. Handstands I was doing as kids, cartwheels, all sorts of nonsense, climbing trees, climbing anything basically. But that's all grip and pull strength. So that's good. And when I was preparing for fights, I used to hear the trainer say, it never used to seem to bother me, but I used to hear the trainer say to the other lads, don't worry about him, let him worry about you, you just do the work in the gym. And I've took that all the way along. I've never give an opponent that credit for hitting me. That's me doing something wrong. And I mean, I made the mistake. He caught me, he did his job. It's not being disrespectful or what could I say? I can't call it I don't even know what to call it, but to me, I respect everybody who gets into a ring, but I don't know how good you are. That don't mean I'm being disrespectful to you. It's just telling you my honest opinion. I'm going to be fit. I'm going to be 100% when I get in there, and you're going to get it. You're going to get a fight. Hopefully you've come at your best, because I'd like to have your best, because then I know where I'm at. And making the ring your home. No matter what's going on inside the ring, you should be at home in there. The other person hitting you is in front of you. You don't have to worry about anything else. And if you know what you're doing in a ring, the crowd don't matter. The crowd don't even come into it. The crowd just silent. So there's just a few tips that you can go along with. But my favourite is, when in doubt, stick your lead hand out, and the cream always rises to the top. Because no matter what you're doing, if you're doing it well and you're doing good, you will get to the top. But you need to put the work in. These people who judges at ringside's opinions and say you've lost the fight, you know whether you've lost or not. That's irrelevant to what they perceive. Did you win? Yeah. Did you get the decision? No. Don't mean you lost. You just didn't get the decision. And I hear a lot. I got knocked out by Clemenson, and everybody else said it was a bad knockout, which it might have been. I don't know, but I was ready to go again at the end of the suspension. And the board suspended me, I think it was for 6 months, on no medical grounds, just because they felt like it. And when I came back, everybody was saying I could be gun shy, I'm a shot fighter, I'm over the hill. My head, I made a mistake. I ain't going to make the same mistake twice. And you're only as good as your last fight. So I went back into the ring and I stopped, I think it was Monty Wright. And then I went on to box Salavangi, who'd beat Clemenson twice. And I boxed his head off for 12 rounds. And that was because Philip Fondue said to my brother that I was a washed up shot fighter, not knowing he was my brother. And my brother told me. Now, all that does is just make me more determined to win. It's weird. You tell me I can't do something, and I'm going to prove I can. And it's like that belt behind me. I heard him say Well, when I was younger, Lord Lonsdale said no black man would ever win his belt. When I heard that, that was a little bit of the spite in me. I'm going to get one of them. And I did. And it was great because when I'd won it, and I came back and I went into Ford Green, my local pub, and a guy come up to me and he just says, "You're not going to keep it." I went, "What?" I went, "The belt. You're not going to keep it." And I just cracked out laughing. I just thought, it's good to be home. You know, people doubt you all the time. The one person who can't doubt you is yourself. And how do you know? Unless you actually try and give it 100%. You don't have to give it 5, 10, 15. Give it 100%. Go all in. What have you got to lose? You know what I mean? I see people who don't train hard, so they've got an excuse when they've lost the fight. Got a cold. Got this. I didn't feel right during training camp. Why? It's an excuse. Give yourself 100% chance and opportunity, and when you get in there, fight 100% or box 100%. It's up to you. I mean, nobody else can make you do it. I can't make you do it. It's up to you. It's like boxers. If your trainer has to shout at you, you're in the wrong bloody game. It's like you've got to go do 6 mile. Am I going to phone you up and tell you, have you been running? No. You've got to do it, because when you're in the ring, you're the only one who's got to do it. I ain't got to do it. I'm outside. I'm sat watching you work hard. And then when end of the round, come into the corner, I get up, wipe you down, take your gum shield, that give you a drink and give you a bit of information. But if you don't want to put that into action, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. It's all down to you. And a lot of boxers perceive that that somebody else will do it for them. That's why these people fall into the trap. I can make you a world champion. How the frick can you make me a world champion? I just don't understand that. A promoter or a manager can make you a world champion. How? How? Pick the right fights at the right time. Yeah. Well, I don't want that. I really don't want that. I want to be the best I can be. That's what I was told to me by Barney Eastwood. How do you get into the top 10? Me being naive. You box somebody in the top 10. No, I make a phone call. Wow. Don't do it for me. You make a phone call and get me in the top 10. Like, that's going to impress me. That just tells me how bent and corrupt boxing is. And that was back in the 80s, early 90s. Look what's going on now then. If that happened back then and he's telling me that, what's going on now with the promoters that are around now? So are the champions real? Or are the champions just manufactured and put into a place where so-called boxing fans think they're great? It's kind of sad, because boxing's losing out. We need to see the best fighting the best, and we don't get to see that, because the best don't get to the top, because they get pushed out, avoided, left long periods of times in between fights. Why? Because they don't want them at the peak. They want them desperate. And it's sad. It's proper sad. But the cream always rises to the top. And that's it. That's what you got to keep remembering. The cream always rises to the top. Anyway, that's like 15 minutes, and that's all YouTube normally lets me put up. So I'll do a little bit more talking. If you like it, leave a comment. If you want me to talk about something, leave a comment. I'll try and do a little bit more of this because of lockdown. I'll probably talk about mental health and the voices in your head and how you can, I don't know. Alright then, until next time, bye.